Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition here of Amantes de StarCraft number 45, your monthly dose of Brazilian StarCraft. I'm Coach VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the villain chat as well. Welcome, and all. Something a little bit different here, something special. Welcome back to our broadcast and coverage of a Brazilian tournament. Again, unfortunately, this event was put on the backlog for quite some time, just because we were so busy with GSL and with RSL and with all the other events going on. It's been non-stop StarCraft for 6 months. It's been pretty intense. So unfortunately, this did kind of fall by the wayside, as did other events like the War DCB Mondays and some StarCraft Evolution League content as well. But now we're catching up. Now we are able to finally catch up with some of these events, like Amantes, COVID Giants Cup, LATAM, and Regular Edition, and StarCraft Evolution as well. So we are slated to catch up with all of that throughout the next 2 weeks. Time, alongside our regular scheduled programming, of course. Otherwise, hope you've all been doing well. Hope you have all been doing well for yourselves. As we are jumping into our fresh series, it'll be a best of 3 between Erik and MasTeR. Again, Erik, he is one of our own. He's one of the CranKy Ducklings, best Zerg player in Brazil. Meanwhile, MasTeR, the best Protoss player in Brazil as well. They both do face off very, very often here. This is the upper bracket semifinals. Bear that in mind. They're facing off a little bit earlier in the tournament, and let's jump into said initial best of 3. Erik, of course, he's my boy. He does play some very unique StarCraft, is what I will say. He often does come up with his own builds, his own styles, and often these builds do actually permeate throughout the meta and actually reach players that are above him, like Cyril, like Raynor. Does often happen. But here we go, we're jumping into our fresh series, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, himself, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Let's go. Meanwhile, big shout to Yoko3601 in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing for 10 months. For 10 months with Twitch Prime. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy. Hope you have been enjoying the content, the StarCraft, the casting, all the StarCraft. Hope you have been enjoying as we are diving into our initial best of 3. Let's go. Oh, as we do open up with the initial pool first, a gas pool, I should emphasize. So very early gas are here out of Erik. With the early gas, typically this means a couple of different things. Either fast link speed into a link flood, it could be link speed into a baneliness, into a bane bus, which is less viable against Protoss. We could be seeing a roach rush out of Erik, or we could be seeing a fast lair. I'm leaning more towards a link flood, but we'll see. We'll see what the gas is going to be spent on. We'll see if we do go into the upgrade or another tech of choice, as we're about to find out. Meanwhile, we do see MasTeR. He does go for the probe scout. He does confirm the delayed expansion, but he has yet to go into the main base. He should soon, though. He should soon go in. There we go. Link speed is on the way. Pulls out of gas. It is indeed a link flood, as we're not mining any more gas for a baneliness or for a roach roaring. Meanwhile, the probe does poke in, and the probe will confirm the early gas and the research on the spawning pool as well. MasTeR knows. MasTeR is fully aware back at home. 2-gate response here, so he's fully walling up. I say fully walling up. Zealot should be chronoed soon, getting a second Zealot and then into a depth follow-up. Now, what is scary about this position here and what is expected, we should be seeing 2 Zealots to defend, then 2 Adepts, and then a massive counterattack with 2 Zealots and then 4 Adepts eventually. I say massive counterattack this early on. Defense is going to be very light for Erik, and it's going to be quite difficult to defend. Not impossible, but it's going to be an intense back and forth here in the early game. Oh boy. Here we go. So yeah, will we see Erik today? I mean, we answered that question immediately, baby. True. Did answer. Behind this, Erik is going for a double expand, going for his natural in his third base, and Erik is droning. So Erik, he's not going all in, and he only made 2 links. Sorry, 6. My apologies. He made 6 links here, so not a big commitment into Zerg links. He's going to try to play a catch-up here, but he did force a reaction out of his opponent, the Zealots and the Adepts. Meanwhile, behind this, Stargate is on the way. MasTeR, he expands. No overreaction. We do see the first Adept almost surrounded, and should be cleaned up. Yeah, he's going to be cleaned up here. Oh, does barely try to shed away. Can we get away? Can we escape? No. Yeah, Erik, you'll find the adept, so nice pick off here by Erik. This also means that there is no major counterattack, especially considering that MasTeR is taking up in towards the Stargate instead. So the game is going to slow you down, and in the end, is Erik in a good position? I mean, he is droning up, that is true. He's saturating, he's getting his queens up and running, and the adepts are staying at home, so not bad. Like Erik, he's able to drone up, able to saturate, he's in a decent position. Decent. I was a little bit concerned about lack of anti-air, but honestly the Oracle is still in production. There is going to be a queen. Without a spore, it's going to be a difficult defense just because the queen count is very low. We only have 3 queens, sorry, 2 queens. The 3rd queen is on the way. With only singular queens in each base, the Oracle can wreak havoc. There we go. Spores are now being thrown down. They are on the way. And Erik, he should be able to maintain himself behind this, still droning, saturating. Once we get into a longer game stage, we'll be able to see how Erik wants to follow this up, whether it's Ling Hydra or Ling into Infestation Pits, or even Ling Roach. I feel like it was going to be Roaches, we would have seen a Roach one by now, so leaning more towards Lair Tech and Hydras. It does feel a little bit greedy here from Erik. We'll see when he's able to tech up. Typically, if the plan were to go into Ling Hydra, we'd already seen the Eva Chamber by now to get into early upgrades, but that's not the case here for Erik. Okay, the case. The Oracle does nice some mining. Yep, there it is. Roach one gets thrown down. Not a lair. Interesting. Going through the Roach one, taking gases behind this Twilight Council follow up here at the MasTeR. I don't see a Forge, so there is a chance that this is going to be Glaive Adepts. We'll see Glaives or Blink. It's going to be Blink. So Stalker will zone away. Blink is in production. We throw down 2 more gateways, getting up to a 4-gate setup. Into early Blink and into a delayed Forge. Okay, I was curious. I was like, where's the Forge? What's going to go on here? But it is going to be a later Forge timing. So it's a little bit messy here getting into the upgrades, but Blink is going to be done early on, and this will help against a potential all-in. If Erik were to push early on and commit early on, Blink will be available to defend. But Erik just claiming a 4th base. Still droning, saturating, Eva Chambers on the way. In my mind, because this chamber is so late, this should be +1 range, not melee. It should be range going into a Roach Hydra-esque composition. But we'll see. Now we have our macro hatchery. Lair is on the way. Much later lair here from Erik. Oh, no, it is delayed +1 melee. Okay, interesting. I guess the Roach one was just for safety. This tells us that we don't actually plan on making any Roaches at all. So, +1 melee into... Are we just going into a delayed Hydra then? I guess? I do have issues with this build here from Erik. On the one hand, yes, he was able to kind of force an overreaction and drone up decently well, that is true, but the upgrades are going to be very late and delayed. This also means that the Lings are a little bit less effective for longer as well, and we are very Ling reliant. We'll see if we can get away with this as MasTeR is pushing. He is moving out, pushing towards the 4th base. Erik getting ready for a counterattack. He does have some Lings back at home to defend, and he should have enough Zerglings. Stage trap, ooh, does go off. Yeah, nice connection. Charge behind this going to be on the way. It's going to be on the way at the same time. Lings, they do hit the 3rd. Battery will buy some time for a warp in, and the warp in will complete in time. Despite that, 3 probes going to be going down. MasTeR, he races back home. A bit of a big overreaction. Yeah, races back home to defend. Lings, they catch out some of the Stalkers. Very nice catch here from Erik. And Erik, he is not droning. He's not droning behind this. Cutting works at 55. He's committing here with pure Ling Roach. He's trying to commit, but a little bit messy here. Roach speed is still just now beginning. Oh, we're getting messy. Collapsing on the Stalkers. Forcing Blinks. So far, these Oracles are putting in so much work. Yeah, the Oracles, they go to town. A lot of Lings are falling. +1 melee finally finishes up. And that is going to be the death of a lot of stalkers. Erik, he's bleeding out. He's bleeding off so much supply, but he's still rallying across the map. And the oracles are running out of energy. They're running out of energy, and Erik, he's done it. Erik, he has done it. It was a very messy build, very, very messy. Cutting workers at 55, only taking 4 gases as well, so a very low economy actually. But he has a lot to work with here. A lot of roaches, a lot of lings. My assumption here is that we're just going for the all-in, but Erik, he gets a spire. Okay, throws down a spire behind this. Interesting. Does throw down the spire. Lings against up with the 4th base. Roaches, they should be pushing across the map as well. The Roach army is split. Yeah, the Roach army is split up. Erik trying to come in from behind, actually. Okay, he corners the army. Yeah, he corners MasTeR away from the batteries. These stalkers will go down. There's no saving them. Forced to recall instead. And with that, Erik, he overwhelms. He does overwhelm here. Breaks through the zealots, breaks through the stalkers. He does need more ling reinforcements here as the stalkers are holding their own. There we go. Has to respect the oracles. And it is a little bit worrisome here just because Erik, he needs to find more damage, but he does finally get a couple more stalkers. 2 more stalkers going down. We have a muta switch here behind this from Erik. Erik, he's banking a lot of gas. He has excess gas to work with. Jesus. As Erik, he will barely overwhelm. Now, what's scary about this aggression that we were trying to allude to is that MasTeR has had a higher probe count the entire time. Like Erik has been fully all in, and Erik has been trading against the army, but he has not dealt economic damage. He's been denying the 4th base, that is true, but again, MasTeR, he still has a stronger economy behind this here, and the longer this goes on, the better it is from MasTeR. Erik was all in, and Erik failed to kill the 3rd. Failed to kill MasTeR. The mutas that have potential, and they're revealed. Maybe it's revealed early on. Ooh, GG as MasTeR taps out. I was curious if we were going to have enough stalkers to defend back at home, but no, MasTeR taps out upon the revelation, and GG gets called, and Erik takes game number 1. Oh, GG. With that, Erik, he does take a lead here. Once again, I don't know if MasTeR... I feel like MasTeR might have been able to play that out and try to defend, but we also know that MasTeR had a very hard time getting a 4th base up running. I also don't think he realizes just how few drones Erik had. Erik, he had a lower worker count than MasTeR that entire game. He was very committed, very aggressive. He didn't really have many minerals to work with either, so GG. GG, well played. Erik does take it, and we'll see where game 2 takes us. Let's go. Leading us into White Rabbit. But again, a very off-tempo style here out of Erik, for sure. With delayed upgrades, with early gas as well, delayed expansions. Crazy, that'd be crazy. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. There you go. Bottom left-hand corner here, White Rabbits. We have the Brazilian Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. He's one of our own, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Erik. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. Let us go. So we're delving into game number 2. This time Erik does get an earlier pull, a later gas, but he's going for a hatch block as well. He's going for the hatch block. Now, when it comes to Erik's style, when it comes to his builds, this is often to delay the economy and to disrupt, but he does mix in some committed all-ins as well, so bear that in mind. I mean, I guess very similar to, he's been doing this a lot longer than players like Shin and Solar and the other Zerg players in the current meta, where Erik has been very fond of going for just blocks just to delay, then drone it behind it, or to even commit across the map. We'll see which variation it's going to be. With the earlier pull timing, there's going to be earlier link production as well. As a couple of boys are being pulled off the mineral line. Zelda's on the way. MasTeR is yet to confirm, and he will now check the pull timing. So big scatter to MasTeR. He confirms the early pull. Behind this, we should be getting up our Sim City and getting a second gateway. Things are moving out. The pylon will delay the Zerglings. Oh, another way. How many drones do we have? Wait, what? I missed the other worker here, so this is very cheeky. 2 drones got in. One is going to be cancelled. The other is going to stay up and running, hidden inside the main. Okay. I missed that completely. When did the second drone come in? Did we move out with 2 drones in the beginning? No shot. What? Hold on. Hold on. Un momento, papi. No shot he stacked the workers, right? Did we pull a chase? No shot. I feel like we would have noticed that. As I mean, we find the hatchery, but it does have a lot of progression already. The hatchery does have progression. Behind this, we do have a full wall off here with the help of the adepts, and Erik is droning. Erik is droning, is saturating. So I'm looking at the replay. As the hatchery does actually finish inside the main. Okay. Does finish. And with this, I mean, we're still just saturating our bases. There's not for an all-in. This is just to distract, just to delay. Keeping the Zealots busy. And yeah, it was a delayed second drone. Okay. It was just a much later drone got in, I suppose. It's crazy. Okay. He even makes overlords as well. I mean, sure, he's able to move out with them, able to get away. Bearing in mind that, again, this hatchery was killed, we didn't commit with it. It did force out another zealot. It did force all these units to stay back at home a little bit longer, but these units will eventually break out. That's typically the moment where I'm the most concerned. When we move out with, yeah, with the adepts and with the zealots. So a massive move out. The Oracle as well. Back at home, we have to defend. Spore production, spores are on the way. We have 1 queen in the main, 1 queen at the natural. We have a 3rd queen just now starting. Plenty of Zerglings on the ground. And so far, nice deflection. Okay. So far, so good. And MasTeR doesn't actually push. MasTeR, he stays at home with the adepts. Interesting. I mean, Erik, he was forced to make all these Zerglings at least. True, link speed is just now finishing, and we are staying somewhat in gas. With this, the Oracle does hit the 3rd. Drones are saved. And the game will continue from here. Once again, we have a 4-gate follow-up. We have a Twilight Council on the way. Once again, I float the idea of maybe Glaive Adepts. Otherwise, we should just be seeing Blink just like last game. Go. And yep, there it is. It is going to be Glaives. So we did float the idea for Glaives, and it is going to be that, but we're still going for a Forge behind this. This tells us that MasTeR even himself doesn't believe this is going to do game-ending damage. Ideally, this cripples, but we're thinking further ahead here for Blink as a follow-up. Okay. In total, how many gateways? Again, just 4 gates. You can see here we're slowly massing up these adepts, and this will be ideal against a Ling heavy style. Unfortunately, Erik did go for a safety Roach Horn, and just like last game, very late +1 melee, later Roach Horn as well into Ling Roach. There are safety Roaches on the way. Erik did not scout. He's playing safe. Here comes the move out. MasTeR coming across the map. Get spotted. We can see Erik trying to engage ahead of time. We'll throw away all of his Zerglings though. Here's a single Zergling thrown away. We do have a Fool up here at the natural. Roach is in position. We'll at least buy some time. Depth shade into the mineral line. Nice target firing. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4 drones. 3. Okay, only 3. Could have been worse. Once again, Depth threaten the shade. Erik defends. Army breaks out. And so far, these Adepts have not been worth it. 3 drone kills is not worth all these Adepts, not yet. So we're still waiting for more damage. There's another rewall. Oracle's into the main base. Didn't quite get across the map. And not quite. Means they respond. And from here, we're just continuing. We're transitioning. We have a 4th base on the way. We spoke about Blink earlier. Blink +1, now getting into +2. MasTeR is making that switch into Blink Stalkers. I will still stand by these Adepts not really paying for themselves. They did delay any kind of aggression. They did buy some time. They killed 3 drones. They're forcing out of these roaches. But as you can see, Erik, he's not droning intentionally so. He drones up to 64. That is under 3 base saturation. And he's just massing up nothing but links and roaches. He's ready for his own aggression. That's what he's getting ready for. Insofar as keeping up with the Stalkers. He's keeping up with the Adepts. 5 drones go down. Not bad. 5 drone kills. Adepts they move out. And Erik, he does want to collapse on this army. Denying the stasis traps. Denies 1. Ooh, the other connects. Yeah, the other connects. Ooh, baits out the final, one of the final stasis traps. There are so many behind this, but they all do get picked up. They'll get triggered. Adepts are moving in once again. Thankfully for Erik, there's no drones, right? There's not many workers here to protect. But can Erik break through? He's all in at this point. Erik is all in. Flanks the Stalkers. Catching out 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. Final drones are going down across the map. Once again, Erik bleeds out the Ducklings, trying to be active on the map. This is getting out of hand at this point. We're getting out of hand. We're hitting critical mass of Stalkers. MasTeR is pushing across the map, and Erik, he's stuck on Ling Roach, which can do well against Stalkers in higher numbers, but right now we have a comparable army size. Erik coming in from behind. Stasis trap. Ooh, does go off. Massive connection. Brutal stasis trap. Roaches are trying to stutter step in. They do catch a couple of Stalkers, that is true. Can he keep going? He's trying. Subsets further in. Getting 4, 5, 6 Stalkers. Not a bad amount. Erik does punish. These are expensive losses here for MasTeR, that is true. Expensive losses. And Erik, he now starts 2-2. Yeah, 2-2 begins. Burrows on the way. Infestation Pit and Hive. Oh, sorry, Infestation Pit and... a second pit. Second pit and Hive. Basically what we just saw here is Erik, he just really, like, he just clicked that he cannot kill, and he just went back home and started everything. He just started everything all at once, recognizing that the game is going to be longer, but it's a late realization out of Erik. So things are looking dire. Erik still just does not have enough. Zealot's collapse in, now charge is done, and now these roaches, they're vulnerable. The roaches are very vulnerable here against charge lots. Or I should say against charge lot stalker. Zealots do a great job tanking, and then stalkers, they come in to pick up. Pick up roaches. Now MasTeR has achieved a more well-rounded army. There's a lot of roaches trying to come in. Oh. But again, the stalkers, they just have their way with the roaches. Denying the expansion, stumbling out of control, blinking on forward. And again, Erik doing the best he can to hold on, to hold the line, but it's too much, baby. Mucho, papi, mucho. And you can see over time, MasTer's army is just getting larger and larger. MasTer is almost maxed out with purely Blink Stalkers, which is crazy, by the way. It's purely a gateway army. Erik is just being outscaled. Again, roaches do not scale well into a longer game. Like, they have a certain kind of like limit as to when and how they can be useful, especially in this matchup. Ravagers are in production. I'm sorry, yeah, Infestors are in production. That will help to try to lock down the army, but I feel like even if fungals land, I don't know if that's really going to be enough. Because the first fungal, I mean, we'll catch out a good chunk of stalkers. Oh, yeah, we just keep moving in. Just keep moving in. 7 drones going down. Zealots, they do hit the mineral line. Erik being torn apart. Oof. And those are the final fungals. The Infestors, they're out of energy. They got nothing left. Nada más back. As Erik tries to collapse in. Again, still plenty of stalkers. Nice spin control here by MasTeR. We'll take another fungal to the face. That's a lot of Infestors. I mean, the fungals are landing. True. They're landing, but there are barely any Ravagers remaining. There's one fungal left. Oh, dodges the fungal. Jesus. Does dodge the fungal. From here, oof, tanking piles. Army moves in. Does move in, and even though this is a little bit messy here for MasTeR, he still breaks through. He still breaks through the Ravagers. Every Ravager is going to go down. Infest is out of energy. GG gets called, and MasTeR does tie up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, it was a bit of a messier game here from Erik. He was just stuck on Ling Roach, and the longer the game went on, the worse it was. Initially, he did a great job when it came to dealing with the Adepts, but the Adepts did survive. They found eventually damage across the map, and the Blink Stalker transition out of MasTeR was faster this time to get into faster upgrades, faster Blink. I say faster. I should say compared to regular builds that open up with Glaive Adepts, so you actually saw a really fast Forge and upgrades on +1 and +2. That did lead to a greater Stalker follow-up, and GG all played. In the end, MasTeR, he had a sword economy, had a sword army, did break through. And with that, we're getting into the ace match. Getting the game 3, going to be loading into 10,000 feet. We'll see if Erik does mix things up here. Every time we see Erik and every time we cast him, I feel like we see something different. And these past couple of games, it has been this late economy into late +1 into Ling Roach all in. So far, that has been the go-to game 1 and game 2. Do we see it again here in game 3 or something different? Yes, we did see a little bit of variance here when it comes to like proxy hatches and hidden hatcheries inside of the main base, for example. That is true, so there was some deviation for sure, but the main core, the main foundation was still the same. But let's go. Let's go. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg for the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own, baby. It is Erik. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss for Team Hellfire. It is MasTeR. As we once again do go for the early gas and early pull. This is the same build we saw in game 1, if you recall. Okay, so the same build as game 1. With this, we can, or we will be going into a Link Flood most likely. Not for a Roach Rush or a Bane Bust, but we'll keep an eye on Erik as to our follower. Keep an eye on him. Likewise, MasTeR coming with the Rope Scouts, confirming the late expansion, and will eventually confirm the gas and the pull timings. It says Link Speed, and again, pulls out of gas. Pulls out of gas completely. Only Link Speed. And then Link Speed on the way. That tree is going to be taken. And from here, Erik is making an extra pair of Zerglings. Okay, this is more than last time. Last time, Erik only made 6. This time, we're getting up to 8. And now we're going for the Flood. We are? Okay, we are. We're going for the Link Flood. Now, I will say that drones, yeah, there we go. Drones are being sent across the map. The goal here should be to mine through the mineral patch, but this is going to be delayed. It's going to be much later mining here from Erik. MasTeR, he has yet to check that location. There's a way in. Yeah, there is slowly going to be a way in. For those that are curious, with one drone, you can mine through the minerals, then mine gas. When you mine gas, you destroy the minerals in your hand, and then you can mine minerals again and destroy the gas in your hand and just go back and forth with one gas geyser. Destroying resources. Overlord confirms that there's no vision, there's no scouting. MasTeR, he's not checking. He's not checking, Pappy. Yes, the drone is moving in and does break through. Meanwhile, here comes a Link Flood. And there's no battery. Wow, there's no battery. One Adept is going to get surrounded. The other Adept as well. 2 surrounds. The Zealot also out of position as well. The boys are being pulled. Desperation here by MasTeR, and he will lose everything. The Adepts, the Zealots, and the Probes. And again, MasTeR just didn't check. He did not check. GG gets called. And Erik, with a cheeky build, pulls off the Link Flood, busts into the natural, and Erik will claim the series 2-1. GG. Ay. GG, well played. Again, I don't blame MasTeR necessarily for not scouting, because it was much later. Like, it was delayed mining at the wall, which is a little bit weird. Like the timings, the vibes are always a little bit off when you play against Erik whenever you're his opponent, just because everything's a little bit off. Everything's a little bit off timing and a little bit off meta. And with that, GG well played. Erik was able to open up the wall, able to go for the Link Flood, to go for the bust. MasTeR, he did not have the wherewithal to check just in case, to start to wall off and start to defend. I was called this pants down. GG well played. And again, really good use of just the series itself, because if you remember, we saw this same build last time in game 1 against MasTeR. What did Erik do? Erik droned, right? Erik, he made 6 lings and then droned up back at home. Like, he did not commit with this. This time, same opener, but this time he committed. So it was on MasTeR to try to confirm that an all-in was coming or that the wall was opening, and wasn't able to confirm either. GG. GG, well played. With that, Erik, he will claim the series, will advance on to the next round, and Erik is going to advance on to the upper bracket finals to face off against his next opponent. It is going to be Erik versus Kamikaze. Okay, not someone we see too often at this level of, or this far in a tournament, but I believe Kamikaze did defeat Inexorable on the way here. True. Did defeat Inexorable, who we typically do dub as the best Terran in Brazil at the moment, but Kamikaze did bring him down.